Alright, so welcome back to my team career mode here on F124. Now, last episode was absolutely massive, as in Canada, I managed to score the very first points of this series. Now, today we're going to Spain, and in my Senna driver career mode I did recently at this track, it was one of the worst weekends I have ever done ever. So I'm hoping today that doesn't happen again and we can actually cook and maybe get 2 points finishes in a row. So let's get to quali and see what we can do. Now, of course, if I want to hope for another points finish, I'm going to need to qualify somewhere around the top 10. So I'm going to aim for a top 13, and then hopefully from there, maybe just with pure pace or even like a safety car or something, I can get into the points. But that's a massive bit of oversteer before I even begin my lap. That's how you want to start. But here we go for hot lap number 1 of Q number 1. Let's see how this goes. Into turn 1, I would like to use this to sort of learn the track a bit, okay? Downforce is a bit low, that's fine. Sector 1 is a 22 dead. I'm going to do a 21.7. But the car is very on edge, I will say, the early signs of it anyway. And it is struggling to turn. Very, very slippery through there. This is not very good early signs. But it's okay, we'll carry on. 51.5, I'm going to do a... oh, goodness gracious. And I crossed the line and it's just P16. Wow. Now this also happened in my Senna Career Mode series at this track. For some reason, I'm really good in Sector 1 and 3 compared to the AI, but I lose like half a second in Sector 2, and I'm not entirely sure which corner it is. I think I'm just gradually losing time, like half a tenth every single corner, so we're going to have to work on that. But P16 after the first run is of course not good enough for Q2, so new tyres and just try and find even a tenth. Alright, here we go for my final run of Q1. This needs absolutely everything if I want to try and get into Q2. Let's go. That was a very good lap. Come on. 4 tenths of a second found. That should see me easily into Q2. Come on, that was a very, very good lap. That was almost everything I had, and I took way too many risks. Like, honestly, like one slight more bit of throttle or more steering angle, I was in the wall. That was, wow, that was on fire, you could say. And yeah, it's only P12. Now, there are some negatives. I mean, yes, I am in Q2, but the thing that is concerning is I'm 2 tenths away from the next position, but also I am 2 tenths ahead of the car behind, so, that's what's concerning me. Everyone's going to go faster in Q2, I just went the absolute fastest I can go. Let's just see what happens. And here we go for Q2, and I'm only going to do 1 run because I've only got 1 set of tyres. And let's see if I can make a miracle happen. That was literally everything I've got. But is it going to be enough for Q3? Oh, okay, you know what? No, I don't care. I am over the moon with a P12. That is great. I'm well happy with that. I'm not going to lie. That lap was... I don't even know... oh, excuse me. I don't even know if that was an improvement on my Q1 lap, but that felt better, I must say. I don't even know how I managed to go and find more time. Actually, I do know it was using about 17 flashbacks. But here is the final finishing order. We are going to finish P12, but look at that. We are 20 milliseconds away. Well, 27 milliseconds away from Pierre Gasly. And we were only just under 2/10 away from getting into Q3. So I think that's a very good result. I feel like with where our car is, and there is sort of a large gap. So obviously you got the McLarens, the Astons, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes. That sort of top 5 are close together. Then there's a huge gap down to the Alpines, the RBs, and us. So honestly, the absolute maximum that you can get with this car is P11. And so to get P12, I'm very happy with that. So let's get into the race and see if I can try and score some points. Although it's going to take probably a safety car, a red flag, or some DNFs. And here we are on race day, and it's looking a bit gloomy. It doesn't look very nice out, does it? Maybe a spot of rain, or it could just stay cloudy, but that is not ideal. I'd rather the sun. Okay, so it is going to be dry. That's fine. As long as it isn't wet, I'm not really bothered. In the wet, it makes life so much harder for me. Not just to drive, but if I want to try to score points, if it's raining, there is no chance. Do you know what I mean? Right, so the strategy is fairly bog standard. A soft to medium. Now, I'm actually considering doing a medium hard or even a soft hard. Purely because, if I show you here, if I put on the mediums and then the hards, you can see the tyre life is a lot less. 37% really isn't a lot, whereas on the softs, we're looking at about 58%. Now, although the first couple laps, obviously, the softs are going to be way quicker than the mediums. However, by lap, 8 or 9, when I've got 40% worn softs compared to, 30% worn mediums, the mediums are going to be quicker. But even after explaining all that, I'm just going to stick with the team and do a medium hard. Sorry, no, soft medium, that one. Lovely. Okay, I think we're ready for another race in My Team Career Mode. The goal is points. It's going to be ridiculously difficult, but I believe in the boys. So let's have it. And here we go for the Spanish Grand Prix in My Team Career Mode, and we are off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. That's my name. Right. We're going to lose a place off the start. Sonoda's had an absolute blinder. We are going to go wheel to wheel into turn 1. I will have the inside line. That was scary. Okay, let's just try and not spin. Okay, I've managed to stay ahead of Sonoda. Still in P12, round the outside of the Aston of Stroll. This is very brave. Now to the inside, I've got a bit more straight line speed. Braking into whatever corner number this is. Stroll round the outside has the better line. Oh, bit of contact. He is going to cut me off as well. Pretty chaotic off the start. I'm not happy about that, but don't worry. We move. At least we haven't lost places, you know what I mean? And here we are at the end of lap 1. I'm still in P12, but yeah, the early signs aren't looking very good. It seems like every single car has more straight line speed, so I am going to lower my downforce a little bit, but now DRS is enabled and I am losing a lot of time to Lance Stroll ahead. Well, let's just say I'm getting flashbacks from my Senna Career Mode. Right, so here's the first DRS zone. I've somehow managed to actually stay in the DRS of Lance Stroll. I'm not sure how I've managed that, but we absolutely take it. And honestly, I'm just hoping to sort of stay in a DRS train. And then when cars ahead start fighting for position, I can sort of swoop in and take multiple places. That's sort of my early race strategy. But yeah, this is proper difficult so far in the early stages. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. He's going to go to the inside. Blood just has way more straight line speed than me, and it's not even remotely close. The very concerning thing is that I'm not even catching throughout the corners. That's the problem. I wouldn't mind having less straight line speed if I caught in the corners, but I'm not. So, yeah. Right, I've now lost DRS on Lance Stroll because there is something in this Sector 2, I don't know what it is. No matter what car I use, I lose a lot of time, and there is a yellow flag up ahead. Someone's having a little conk out. Who's that? That's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has engine failure and is out of the race. Okay, that bumps us up to P11. That corner as well I'm struggling a lot with. I get mid-corner understeer and then oversteer on the exit. It's not a good time. And even though I got bumped up to P11 because of Verstappen's DNF, I feel like I'm about to lose 2 places here because I don't have DRS. So Tsunoda's going to just drift on by for free. Or is he? Are we 3 wide? I think we're 3 wide. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but I'm somehow still P11. Right, okay, I'm not sure. We move, though. Alex Albon gets ahead of Tsunoda as well, up into P12. But yeah, it starts about here until the end of the lap. I just lose time. So, bit annoying. I believe it's a mixture of oversteer and my engine braking is causing horrible... I don't know how to explain it, but... It's like my car stalls mid-corner, if that makes any sense. That's what high engine braking does, but unfortunately you can't turn engine braking down mid-race, so unfortunately I'm just stuck with that until the end. And yeah, I'm just losing second after second to the cars ahead now. I am truly in the mud. It seems like after only a few laps, this car and any car for that matter around this track just goes into the bin. You can see there, look at my tyre wear. Look how different it is. I'm talking about tyre wear whilst having a double overtake performed on me by Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon. They both get by. Try to swing one to the outside now. Now to the inside. Unfortunately, I get understeer and I can't go for a move. Or back to the outside of Albon. No, he's going to block me, which is fair. And honestly, I think it's just this track. There is something about this track and me that doesn't go well together. And look at the tyre wear. 33% on the front left, 8% on the front right. How does that even happen? I don't even understand, but look at the time I'm losing. Already 7 tenths back in 2 corners. Like, it's just a joke. I've got the entire rest of the field right behind me, so I'm just going to keep dropping down. And you know what? We're going to have to do something radical. I'm going to stop now and put on hard tyres. I don't care. There is just something about this track, I can't explain it. It just feels terrible no matter what car and setup you use. This track is just absolutely egregious. And honestly, if I stayed on them soft tyres for another lap, I would have lost at least 3 more positions. So we're not going to score points based off pure pace, and you know, a slow pit stop really cements how this weekend has gone so far. Lovely stuff. But this strategy probably won't even work. But I need to do something different. If I just did the normal and ran soft medium, I would have finished about P18. And I'll probably finish P18 anyway. But I might as well try something different, because you never know. Car is oversteering every single corner. And you can see there, I brake and my car turns before I turn. That's what I mean about a high engine braking. It's absolutely horrible. I need to remember to keep that down for future reference. And I don't know which transmission setting to change to get rid of oversteer. I don't remember. Tyres ain't warming up. Can't brake. Can't turn. Can't exit. So I'm probably... I'm losing time to the soft runners. I'm probably going to come out P15 maybe. It's going so wrong because this car feels so terrible and this track is so abysmal. Like, there's nothing to say other than that. Like, look, every single corner, stop oversteering! God's sake, just stop! It can't be that hard, cars, just not oversteer. For one time in your life, understeer, oversteer. Like, what is going on with this piece of shit on every car? What is wrong with this track? Did they just design it that badly? What is going on? Lost another half a second to the cars ahead. I'm losing time to my teammate. That's how slow I am right now. And that was the exact same thing that happened in my Senna Career Mode. First few laps, first 4-5 laps, I looked alright. Got to lap 6 and beyond, I am just too slow to comprehend and slowest car on track. So, something dodgy's going on. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but we're looking good for an actual P21 at the moment. So the front runners have decided to finally pit. Even though my tyres are now warmed and I'm changing all diff settings, I'm still getting this horrible oversteer and understeer. So we can see the front runners coming in on the mediums, so they're all going to be quicker than me. And that's actually a great point that I just thought of. I have tried something different purely for an undercut, but everyone's just going to pit on the mediums and be quicker than me. So, yeah. What I was thinking is that I can pit early, hard tyres, get an undercut, and then just defend. But I can't even get the undercut done because I keep getting oversteer on every single corner. So, I don't know what to do. Right, so as you can see, I'm coming out multiple seconds behind the likes of Tsunoda and the Alpine and all that. And I'm also coming out multiple seconds behind Bottas. So what this means is every single car has now pitted, and that keeps happening. You know what? I'm just going to retire from this race. I'd rather save the engine, do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of carrying on? I don't see the point. There's literally no reason to carry on this race. How have I lost 4 seconds? The only positive from this is now I know to never, ever, ever drive at this track again. Like, in my life. Hang on a minute, Jack Doohan's pitted. There's actually a very high probability I'm going to come out behind my teammate. Yippee! This is so fun. I'm having a great time. You know, P21. Car literally could barely drive in a straight line. And I am going to come out multiple seconds behind my teammate. Let me know in the comments, anyone still watching, I'd be surprised if you are, if you also have these same issues at Spain, where no matter what car you use or set up, it's undrivable and you're incredibly slow. Now I want to note that in quali, I was playing on 108 difficulty. For this race, I'm on 106. In quali, I got P12. In the race, I'm struggling to catch P20. Like, something dodgy's going on. But what I really need is a red flag. I don't even think a safety car can save me. I need something. Obviously, if I just keep driving around like I am now, I'm going to be losing time to the cars ahead. And I will be finishing P21. I need a red flag or a safety car so I can put on some new tyres and actually have a chance again. But sight tells me that ain't going to happen. I'm literally having to tiptoe around so my car doesn't spin. Like, I can't drive in a straight line without the car spinning. Why? You know what, for the fun of it, let's just change some random settings, because I'm bored out of my fucking brain. Like, what, I don't know what to do. Do I just drive around? Like, what do I do? It's so weird with this game. Some days I love it, and then some days I absolutely hate it, but to the absolute extreme. Yesterday at Austria, my Senna Career Mode, I was having a great time. I loved it. Now, I never want to touch this game again. Like, it's crazy, but it's just because of this handling. Like, you know it's bad when you're losing half a second to your teammate. That's really bad. But I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get to the end of this race, and then after that, you know, I never have to go to this track again. So let's just get this over and done with. Honestly, all things considered, my pace isn't even that bad. I'm only a second off soft runner times, and I'm only losing half a second a lap to the medium runners. So, to be fair, my pace ain't even that bad. For being on old hards and they're on almost new mediums, it actually isn't that bad. Obviously, if I was in the mixture, like if I was in like P15 right now, I'd be losing places like every corner. But, you know, it ain't horrible. And it seems like changing my transmission settings all the way up and down, I've almost fixed my oversteer and understeer issues. It's definitely still there. But basically at this point, all I'm doing is I'm just driving around, I'm bringing the car home, and I'm going to bed, do you know what I mean? I woke up at 7:30, it's currently 9:30, and I'm just going to go back to bed, because this is just shit. Right, I've finally reached the final lap of this race, and yeah, honestly, my lap times have been extremely consistent. Consistently slow, yes, but consistent nonetheless, and it's just been another episode of constantly complaining about the car and the game and the track. And honestly, it feels like one episode it's this, and like tomorrow's episode or whatever I do will probably be really, really good. That's just the way this game works at the moment, unfortunately. But I'm actually really happy with this hard stint. Like, the lap times have been very good. The oversteer understeer thing has sort of slowly gone away, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I might be, you know, losing a second a lap to the cars ahead, but I don't really care that much because of how horrible my strategy was. And now I'm thinking to myself, if I actually ran a normal strategy, I probably wouldn't have finished P21, but I definitely would have been about P19, so I am losing out on too much, so not too bad. And obviously, quali was really, really good as well, so there definitely are some positives. Of course, the biggest positive is that as I make my way around this final corner, I never have to drive at this track again, and we've done it. There's the checker, and incredible contrast, really. Last episode, I was at Canada. I scored points for the first time after an incredible battle with Esteban Ocon. The very next episode, I go and finish dead last. That's incredible, really. So here's the final order if you really care. Fernando Alonso wins his home Grand Prix. Fair play to him, really. Do you know what I mean? P5 to P1, what a result. Lando Norris on the podium, followed by Charles Leclerc. What happened to Oscar Piastri, though? P2 on the grid, all the way down to P9. Something was horribly going wrong with him. Obviously, there was Max Verstappen DNFing, and I just want to show you how consistent my lap times were. Look at this on the hard stint from about here. Look. 16-4, 16-4, 16-3, 16-4, 16-4, 16-2, 16-1, 16 dead, 16-3, 16-2. That is, what, 9-10 laps of being within 2/10 of my own lap time. And even these laps, 16-6 and 16-7. That was obviously the lap I think I went off. So, yeah. At the end of that, I'm actually very happy with that hard stint. I don't know where I'm heading to next, but I think it's going to be an absolute belter. That's usually the way these things work. I have an absolute rosser and then an absolute belter. So that's going to be all from me. If you somehow dealt with my constant complaining, I don't know how you've done it. You're an absolute warrior, and I rate you. So yeah, that's all from me. See you next time for some Senna Career Mode. Ta-da!